And all the time.
I'm gonna be posting a video on a tournament that I just did today. It was 67 people. I finished fourth, so I'm kind of proud of myself for that. Just so you know, this was offered by Clint Eastwood, so thank him for giving us the hookups to join this clan. Join this tournament. Though there were 67 people out of 200, it kind of sucks, but still, I gotta tell you, the competition here was insane. Right, I was ahead like in the beginning of it, like I guess when there was 20 minutes left, like 30 minutes left. I was at 150 cups. I was leading, but then as you can see, number one's King Flame, and he's also in Barbarian Party, and as well as Clint Eastwood, Austin, and I guess he said that this Ronnie guy was pretty insane and pretty insane to play against. I believe yeah, I played Ronnie too. I beat him as well. So yeah, I'm gonna be showing a few replays regarding the gameplay, and just so you guys know like how intense it gets, just like when it comes to tournament level standard cards, because when it for tournament standard, everyone has the same level playing field when it comes to the level of the cards, so it's just based on skill. And for me to finish fourth, I feel pretty proud of myself, and I only finished a tad short from third. Like I said earlier, I was into it a bit ahead of King Flame, but then I believe I lost twice. Yeah, I lost twice. So losing twice isn't that bad, but it was to a Mega Knight. For this deck though, the deck that I'm using, the OG Classic Standard deck, it's kind of hard to guard against the Mega Knight because it's so much splash damage, so it could easily take out my Ice Spirit, and its Smash with its one hit could take out my Muskie. So it was really hard to play against that, but I'm just gonna regard on the few games that I did play. The only reason I came back up so quickly was I played against Dave twice, but I'm only gonna regard on one of Dave's, one of Ronnie's, and then I'll do it on MRGSF, because going against him, it was pretty tough, and maybe even Pereira. I honestly don't know. He's at 3815. MRGSF. Yeah, so yeah, three replays, and let's get right into it. So we are going to start off with Ronnie, and let's get right into it. Okay, so he says good luck. I don't think I said anything, honestly. I just put in a hog. No, I did say good luck. I put a Hog Rider straight into it. So what I always do, quick tip, whenever you have a Hog Rider in the beginning, it's always best just to send it. It's what I call a naked Hog Rider, just so you can see what they have, and if not, you'll get some really good hits off. Unless the reactions are fast enough, then they'll guard you really well. So I'm assuming he's gonna cycle the goblins. Yeah, goblins, Hog Rider. I use a cannon and a Ice Spirit and my Skellies. What I like about this deck, like I said, it's a quick cycle deck, so I was able to get right back into my Hog Rider, but he defended really well with the Ice Wizard, with an Electro Wizard and bats, as you can see. Well, I like to tap my cards really quickly because I'm a really impatient person. So I feel like just pressing the cards and tapping gives me like gets me even more focused into the game. It's always good to be focused. I fireballed that just to get some value off and to cycle. And I put my Skellies just so I wouldn't get the dash off. I was able to cycle to my Hog Rider again, but he pulls out a P.E.K.K.A. And I was like, oh my god. But you gotta realize that this deck is really good against it because I have so many things that can distract the P.E.K.K.A. Just as the Ice Golem, the Skellies, and the Ice Spirit, but as well as the cannon and the Muskie, because I could hit it range while it's being distracted as well. So 8 to 4 elixir. He has a 5 elixir advantage. Now he has a 3 elixir advantage. It's weird how I won this though. As you can see later into the game, I was cycling so much that I was able to just overwhelm him, which kind of sounds weird because you usually have like an elixir collector to overwhelm the person. So I put an Ice Golem, I put an Ice Spirit as well as a Muskie, just so that way the Ice Spirit's effect would still work. I used the Skellies but to distract it. But as you can see, it died because I thought I was gonna get his stash off. As you can see from like a day or two ago, when it only had like 1 HP left, I was able to still dash in my tower, which is pretty annoying. As you can see, I did more skellies again. And then right here, this cycling right here, I was able to cycle back to my Ice Golem. I could even put a third Muskie if I wanted to, honestly, but I overwhelmed him, and honestly, I was like thinking of putting something down, but I didn't have to, because he already knew it was game. Like, when you have the cycling down, it's just really, really fun, you know? So it was only 10 seconds left. I was confident. I already knew I was gonna win, so I fireballed Log to take out his tower, and he just put everything he could, and he's gonna laugh at the end. But yeah, it was a pretty intense game, that one, but most fun because it was the final one, and that's what took me to 4th place, luckily. Okay, the second replay is going to be against Samuel Salinas. He finished 2nd or 3rd, I believe, in this tournament. I lost to him, so I'm gonna show a loss. Just so you guys know, I'm not the perfect person, so there's gonna be times where I lose. Alright, but I'm only posting this so I can tell, so you guys can see how good this guy is, as well as like how what I can learn from him. So you can see he already has the Ice Spirit down, and he was able to take out my Ice Spirit by the Ice Spirit getting his, and then his Ice Spirit was still alive, and then get my Hog Rider. So if you guys could understand that, or even if I said it right, either ways. So what made me lose this game, I believe, was just the fact that I didn't predict his Goblin Barrel. If I predicted his Goblin Barrel a lot better, I believe I could have done a bit better into this game, though. Yeah. So his deck really is a strange deck, as you can see. Whenever he gets the chance to, I don't even believe he meant to do oops. That was completely intentional. He was just trying to disregard his thing and try to make me believe that he made it by mistake, making me feel a bit more self-confident about myself. But what really made me lose this game was just the fact that his Goblin Barrel, every time he threw it, he kept, for the first 3 or 4 times, he threw it in the same place, and I couldn't do it. You see, look, I pulled it a little bit more back that time, but as you can see, he still got hits off. So I cycled to my Hog Rider. I was hoping my Hog Rider would get like another hit, but he put another Ice Spirit. And what's good about his deck is that he could seriously cycle, and he'll still have something to do offense. That's kind of like my Hog Rider cycle deck, but in reality, he could chip a lot more quicker than I can with my Hog Rider. And even then, since his card's more chip and a lot of cycle cards, he could cycle not only quicker than me, but as well as cycle to the most important cards and take out my Hog Rider before he even reaches the tower. So what I realized here is that the only way for me to try to come back to this is by fireballing it fireballing the tower whenever I could, but even then it wasn't enough. So yeah, you see, I'm just like cycling towards my fireball. What's good about this deck is that it's really good at cycling fireballs or one specific card, because you can just cycle through the Skellies, through the Ice Spirit, through the Log, through the Ice Golem, and you'll eventually hit it back, get back right to what you need. As you can see, I'm already a poison down, or even a Goblin Barrel away. But as you can see, I fireballed it, and that wasted my fireball right there. It was a negative elixir trade, but at desperate times call for desperate measures. But as you can see, he's really smart. This guy cycled me really well. I couldn't do anything, which what I learned is I learned a few things, and if you guys learned anything, you know, leave it in the comments below. Tell me what you thought I could learn. If you guys have any tips for me, I'll gladly take them. Getting some props from King Flame was pretty nice, saying that I did good. So let's get on to the final replay. The final replay I'm going to be showing is going to be against MRG.S.F. Honestly, I believe it was this one in which we went into the pretty long game. Well, he's gonna start with a bit of BM, I guess. But this guy was pretty good regarding the fact that he had like a level 3 Goblin Barrel. He hit barely 4K trophies, and it's weird, yeah, for me to honestly like struggle against a guy like him. But in reality, for him to have that low level card and to hit 4K, it's pretty insane. You see, that proves my point when it comes to just like skill levels and card levels. There are gemmers, and then there's people with skill. People with skill often are more at the bottom. People with gems and skill can be at the top. There's really a few guys. Gems can only take you so far. Skill takes you to the rest of the way. So he's gonna be using one of those famous Goblin Barrel Rocket cycle decks with the Inferno Tower. So I believe he's gonna be putting down the Princess any second now. I'm just cycling, and I put my Ice Golem down just so that way if he was gonna try to do any chip, it wouldn't really affect me. Alright, so he's gonna put down another Goblin Barrel, and I believe no, he's not actually. So I'm gonna use my Hog Rider. The goal is to always cycle to your Hog Rider whenever you get the chance and try to attack, but make sure that when you attack that you do it you make sure that you could get a hit off. As you can see, I put down my Hog Rider thinking that it would survive, but it didn't. I was a little bit on my late on my log, which caused it not to get any hits, as well as he used his log to push it back. I believe he did. Yeah, I kind of messed up there, so I was just wasting my elixir. That was a waste of an Ice Spirit. He's gonna put down his Knight against my Muskie. But what's so nice about this is that even though he pushed the lead, once we get into overtime, especially right now, I'm going to start overwhelming him with my cycling, as you'll start seeing later into the game. So I put down my Hog Rider. I already know that he's gonna have Inferno Tower. That's why I didn't put anything to go with it. I never do, really. The reason I put down just my Hog Rider was so that way I could chip the Inferno Tower, so that way next time when I have my Hog Rider, he won't have his Inferno Tower, as you can see, and it's gone. And he has nothing really to put it. My Ice Spirit got his log. My log got his Ice Spirit, luckily. So he's gonna cycle back to his goblins. I'm gonna put down my Muskie. He put down a Goblin Barrel. I'm gonna use my Ice Spirit to take it out. Now he's getting overwhelmed. He took out my Muskie, luckily, but my Fireball also got value, hitting the Princess and the Inferno Tower. So I'm gonna put down my Muskie. I realized that my Muskie was gonna hit it, so I cycled back to my Hog Rider again. You see how quickly that is? And my my log got some pretty good damage, though I didn't get the second pop off, which kind of sucks. So he's gonna put down his Princess, and I thought my Muskie was gonna take it out, but it didn't. So I used my Muskie to rely on it again. See? This is what I'm talking about. Even when he's on offense, I go on offense instead of defense, just so that way I could he wastes his elixir, and I'll make sure that my Hog Rider could go off. You see how fast I'm cycling back to my Hog Rider? This is why I love this deck. It's pretty insane. The OG deck, guys, it's pretty overwhelming when it comes to it. You see, my Hog Rider got that pop off, and right now, even then, it's just like I don't even have to go to my Hog Rider anymore. It's just Fireball Cycle, Fireball Cycle. I don't know if I used my Fireball for this. I did. See, he's just cycling, and he already knows that this is gonna be game. Yep, you see, I got a little bit confident, but yeah, I overwhelmed him, and that's pretty good of me. Well, yeah, that was the third replay, guys, and as you can see, I won, and I was being a good sport. I gave him a well played, a good luck, because it was a pretty insane tournament, even though there was just a few amounts of people. Well, anyways, guys, that was 3 replays, and I hope you guys liked them. I'll probably be posting another video later into the day, and if you guys have any comments, please let me know, or tips. I would gladly love to know them. Please spread the word of Comet Bubbles to your friends. Let them know to subscribe to me, and thank you. So subscribe, like, leave a comment, and I'll meet you guys in the next episode.
I'm at an all-time